Welcome to the FA Community Shield preview show. It's time to go again. Coming up, can Pep Guardiola's all-conquering Manchester City maintain their relentless success?
We all know they're wonderful players. Pep's probably the best coach out there, but they just want to keep winning. They want to break records.
Or will Premier League runners-up Arsenal win their first trophy since lifting the Shield in 2020?
Mikel Arteta has come off second best against Pep Guardiola over and over and over again, and I think that he's sick of it.
We'll round up some of the big summer transfers and take a numerical look through the Community Shield archive.
Make some noise for the treble winners, Manchester City!
7 years into the Pep Guardiola reign, Manchester City finally captured their first Champions League title to write their name into history and complete an incredible treble.
Champions League's the biggest and the best and the hardest club competition in the world. So to be able to win that alongside winning the Premier League and the FA Cup, it shows you what a special group they are.
The best fans in the world, simple as that. You know, to see them all here and the numbers after winning not one, not two, but three.
Do you want to say that again for us?
Not one, not two, but three.
The parade was sensational. To see hundreds of thousands of Manchester City fans in the streets, you know, and I hope they do, but they might never ever see that again in a parade.
The celebrations are now a memory, but after scaling unprecedented heights, what next for this team?
The one thing that really stands out with this group of players and the squad and the whole backroom staff is that they're never happy with what they've achieved. That night that they were talking about, nobody's ever done 4 Premier Leagues in a row. Can we do it? Can we get back-to-back Champions League? And that focus and mentality they've got. We all know they're wonderful players. Pep's probably the best coach out there, but they just want to keep winning. They want to break records.
One of Guardiola's biggest tests will be adapting to the loss of 2 hugely influential players.
Mahrez with a dart through the middle. Brilliant.
Riyad will be a huge miss. We all know that, as will Ilkay. You know, he was so instrumental, not just last season in the run-ins to other seasons, but the club know what they're going to do. They brought Mateo Kovacic in, who's a top player. He looks as if he's fitted in seamlessly already. You know, Manchester City recruit players. You know, they don't just look at what they do on the pitch. They look at the person first and foremost. They look what makes them tick. They look at their mentality. They look at how hard they work. And then, obviously, if Manchester City are in for players, they're going to be quality players.
It's all a far cry from the City that Paul Dickov turned out for. The Scot earned legendary status amongst fans by scoring a crucial goal in the third-tier playoff final of 1999.
You know, it wasn't so long ago we were in the old Division 2. You know, 24 years ago when we were getting 30,000 fans every week, we'd stood to the lowest point in the club's history. Even up until 10, 12 years ago when the owners first came in, you know, and Man City fans would thank me for the goal, thank the other players for that moment and everything else, and that was about it. But now that they're winning trebles, they're winning 4 out of 5 Premier Leagues, 3 in a row, it seems a bit more nostalgic for them to look back to that day and say that was the turning point. Whether it was, I don't know, but it was a big moment for the club, I know that much.
I get asked all the time about the difference between when I played and now. There was a hell of a lot, but the one thing that's never changed is the support of these guys. They are unbelievable, they're the best, and I'm so happy for all of you. These are amazing.
I know it's slightly biased, but if any set of football fans deserve success after what they've been through, not just what we've been through as a team, but seeing United going and winning all the stuff that they were winning as well, must have really hurt them. So for them to have that success now is really special.
If City have set the gold standard, others have invested heavily to close the gap and try to overtake.
Arsenal strengthened, Chelsea are strengthening, Liverpool have strengthened, Man United are strengthening, Tottenham will. I genuinely think next season is going to be the hardest Premier League to win that we've ever seen. Mikel has done an unbelievable job. Is there going to be a knock-on effect for Arsenal next season? You don't know. It can work both ways. They came up short. There's no shame coming up short to one of the best Premier League teams that we've seen. And I genuinely believe they'll be up there again this season. Whether they can close that gap again to City, I don't know. You know, but Man City are serial winners, and they hunt teams down if they have to.
First, it's Arsenal, another of Dickov's former clubs, at Wembley this weekend.
Both teams will be super determined to do it. I know from Manchester City's point of view that Pep takes it really seriously. A couple of years ago when they won the domestic treble, Pep was saying it was a quadruple because of the Community Shield. That's how highly he treats it. And you know, you're at Wembley, and there's a trophy to be won, and nobody wants to be standing at Wembley watching the other team, regardless of what trophy it is, and going and lift it. You know, it'll always divide opinions. You know, people say without my goal, Aguero wouldn't have happened. Without Ilkay's goal against Villa, the Champions League wouldn't have happened with Rodri. And so there's many ways to look at it, but I don't mind being in a top four with Rodri, Ilkay Gundogan, and especially Sergio Aguero. I'll take that all day long.
The Community Shield has been contested for more than a century. The first match in 1908 saw Manchester United defeat QPR to become the inaugural winners of what was then known as the Charity Shield. The fixture has had various guises through the decades, but in 1974, league winners Leeds took on FA Cup winners Liverpool at Wembley in August, and today's format was set.
So the cup winners beat the league champions.
Only 4 venues since 1974 have hosted this fixture: Wembley, old and new, the Millennium Stadium, Villa Park, and in 2022, the Shield between Liverpool and Manchester City was held at the King Power Stadium in Leicester.
Nunez, what a brilliant finish. And that has finished off Manchester City.
Manchester United hold the record for the most Shield appearances and the most Shield wins. They've appeared in this fixture 30 times, winning it 21 times, including 4 shared wins. In total, the Shield has been shared 11 times before penalties were introduced. The last time this happened was in 1991, as North London rivals Arsenal and Tottenham played out a 0-0 draw. It's 31 years since Eric Cantona of Leeds United scored a hat-trick in the Community Shield match between Leeds and Liverpool. No other player has scored a treble since.
An extraordinary way to end an extraordinary afternoon.
Since that fixture in 1992, only 8 clubs have won the Shield and then gone on to win the Premier League title. The most recent to do it, Manchester City, in 2018-19. In 2002, the match was renamed the Community Shield as Arsenal beat Liverpool at the Millennium Stadium.
What a start! The World Cup winner scores for Arsenal at Cardiff.
In 2007, the fixture was played at the new Wembley for the first time. Since then, only 6 clubs have lifted the Shield: Liverpool, Manchester City, Manchester United, Arsenal, Chelsea, and Leicester City. And this year's fixture, Manchester City versus Arsenal at Wembley, will be the 101st Community Shield match.
Very good to be back there because we had 2 games at Wembley and we come back for a 3rd time. It's a big test against Man City before the championship starts.
The curtain raiser to the new top division season in English football, the annual clash between the champions and the team which lifted the FA Cup. It is Manchester City against Arsenal, competing for the FA Community Shield. Ramsey. Sanchez, no go. Cazorla has steered it in. First goal of the Community Shield. It goes to Arsenal. It goes to Santi Cazorla at the end where he scored in the FA Cup final. Sanchez to Sanogo. Got support. Arsenal lead 2-0. That's a typical Aaron Ramsey moment. He had the best scoring season of his life last season, including the winner here at Wembley. And that is a sign that he can carry on where he left off. Giroud. Oh, it's a goal! Well, he might not be in his own mind fully match sharp, but he's had a marvellous Wembley moment. Perhaps not quite the same for the goalkeeper. And Arsenal lead Manchester City by 3 goals to 0. Well, the FA Cup winners have beaten the champions conclusively, decisively. 2014 winners of the FA Community Shield, conclusively Arsenal.
For us, it's important to increase the confidence, and to have a win today is good for the confidence. Now we start with the Premiership. Let's hope we can transfer that into the Premiership.
Still to come, will some serious summer spending help Arsenal go that step further?
Never in recent history have Arsenal been able to go out for a top-class player, a player that everybody wanted, and get him.
And to name the missing men from their last Shield meeting.
Cesc Fabregas?
Santi Cazorla.
No?
This is so bad. This is so bad.
Last week in North London, a bronze monument was unveiled to honour a legendary manager.
Arsenal fans have wanted some kind of recognition for Arsene Wenger at the stadium that, of course, he effectively built. He was the driving force behind that move from Highbury to Emirates Stadium. He's the longest-serving manager in the history of the club. Arsenal have always tried to remember the great managers and the great players. You've got Herbert Chapman, you've got Dennis Bergkamp, you've got Thierry Henry, but Arsene Wenger certainly deserves this. Mikel's got a long way to go before he can replicate Arsene Wenger's achievements as a manager. He was a very popular player when he was at Arsenal. He was the captain, and he's come back to the club as one of the world's most promising young coaches, and he has thrown his heart and soul into reviving Arsenal's fortunes. I think if he can bring a Premier League title or multiple titles, maybe that elusive Champions League, then he will go down in history as one of Arsenal's greatest servants. If he can do that, one day he might get his own statue.
Despite a late collapse last season, Mikel Arteta's Arsenal became a Premier League force, leading the league for 33 weeks.
I think that last season was pretty special from an Arsenal point of view. Mikel Arteta had been building brick by brick over the previous couple of seasons towards creating this side that played fast, fluid, interchangeable football. And it came together through coaching, through improving the players that he had at his disposal, and then, of course, through recruitment of star individuals like Gabriel Jesus and Alexander Zinchenko. I don't think there's any shame in Arsenal coming second to Manchester City, but towards the end of the season, it was down to squad depth. They got to that final furlong and they ran out of gas. And I think ultimately that's what cost Arsenal. But they're trying to do something about that by adding depth this summer.
Arsenal have invested £200 million this summer on Chelsea's Kai Havertz, Dutch fullback Jurrien Timber, and midfielder Declan Rice, now England's most expensive ever player.
Never in recent history have Arsenal been able to go out for a top-class player, a player that everybody wanted, like Declan Rice, and get him. Look, Arsenal is a very attractive club. It's a glamorous London club. It's got a huge fan base. It's a global club. The one thing that's been missing has been the ambition to go and challenge for a Premier League title or to go deep in the Champions League. That's why the top-tier players at their peak haven't been on their radar. Now Arsenal are playing in that arena. they've got a manager that players want to work with, playing a brand of football that's exciting and attacking in a stadium where everyone's fully engaged for the first time in many, many years. Like, if I was a player playing at the top end of my game anywhere in Europe at the moment, I'd be interested in joining Arsenal, and I think they're finding that.
Arsenal's owner, American businessman Stan Kroenke, has built a sports empire with plenty of recent success. But it hasn't always been so positive on this side of the Atlantic.
The ownership faced a really difficult situation a few years ago with the proposed Super League and that collapsing, and the fans really did turn against them at that point. And I think it shocked the Kroenke family, I really do, and I think they were provoked into acting and showing the fans that they really do care about Arsenal and they really want to make it a successful club and to bring silverware. Obviously they've had success in other sports, and I think that has maybe persuaded Arsenal fans that these are good owners. These are owners that are associated with winning teams, winning cultures. Now it's Arsenal's turn maybe to really focus on and to back the manager and to get this exciting team to the very next level.
Manchester City were too strong when it mattered last season. But this weekend, Arteta's new-look Arsenal can make a statement.
I think it would do Arsenal's players a lot of confidence to beat Manchester City, because this is a team that they've got an abysmal record against. You know, Mikel Arteta has come off second best against Pep Guardiola over and over and over again, and I think that he's sick of it. And I think that he would really, really like to win this match, to claim a piece of silverware, and to just lay down that marker that, yeah, you beat us last year, you're a great team, but this is our year. We are not going anywhere. This Arsenal team are going to really push you every step of the way. So I expect it to be very competitive, but Arsenal will be incentivised to win it, make no mistake, because City inflicted a lot of pain and a lot of hurt on these players last season, and they will want to get an element of revenge. Full revenge maybe comes next May.
The summer transfer window is in full swing again, with clubs looking to strengthen. Here are some of the biggest deals to catch the eye. Following their historic treble last season, Manchester City made Mateo Kovacic their first summer signing, bringing an end to the Croatian's 5-year stay at Chelsea. Pep Guardiola wasting no time in replacing the void left by the outgoing club captain, Ilkay Gundogan. After just falling short last season, Arsenal have invested as they look to reclaim the Premier League title for the first time in 20 years. Having led West Ham to European glory, Declan Rice has made the move across London to become the Gunners' club record signing in the process.
Declan Rice, the England international!
Mikel Arteta has also strengthened in attack, with Kai Havertz the latest in a long line to make the move between Chelsea and Arsenal.
Nodded in by Kai Havertz.
Another Chelsea departure saw Mason Mount join Manchester United. It brings an end to his 18-year association with the club, where he won the UEFA Champions League and was a 3-time runner-up in the FA Cup.
Mason Mount! Chelsea are heading for the FA Cup final.
There have been arrivals at Stamford Bridge. Christopher Nkunku has joined from Bundesliga side RB Leipzig. And Blues fans will be hoping to see a lot more of his trademark celebration. Also making a move from Leipzig is Dominik Szoboszlai, with the Hungarian national captain becoming Liverpool's second signing of the summer. After a disappointing league campaign last year for the Merseysiders, they made their ambition clear, acquiring the much sought-after World Cup winning midfielder Alexis Mac Allister from Brighton.
2 goals for World Cup winner Alexis Mac Allister on the bench.
At Liverpool's expense, Champions League football is back at St James's Park this season, and Eddie Howe has brought in proven quality, signing Sandro Tonali from AC Milan, as the Magpies look to build on their top 4 status. Leicester City's relegation from the top flight opened the door for key player departures, with Tottenham capturing long-term target James Maddison.
Oh, Oh, great movement off the ball from Maddison. It is a sublime goal.
And Aston Villa signed another Leicester midfielder, Yuri Tielemans, the Belgian whose goal won Leicester the FA Cup 2 years ago.
Tielemans from wrong distance. Oh, one of the great Wembley goals. Yuri Tielemans.
Finally, time to test our guests' memories in our quiz. We'll show them the team sheet from a classic match with a few notable omissions. So can they name the missing men?
Missing players.
Okay, yeah.
Just a complete mind blank.
Right, here we go.
Right.
This week's match is the 2014 Community Shield between Arsenal and Manchester City. Arsenal won 3-0, but who were the missing men in their team?
2014.
You have helped me ever so slightly with putting the flags on there.
Memories are quite sketchy. Let's see.
So in goal,
I'm going to go for Fabianski.
Chesney in goal.
That's shocking. Chesney.
Two midfielders missing.
Santi Cazorla alongside Jack Wilshere.
Cesc Fabregas. No?
I think it's got to be Aaron Ramsey.
And Aaron Ramsey. Don't look too confident there.
Different Spanish central midfielder.
And I was going to go with Cesc Fabregas.
It's not Fabregas. This is so bad. This is so bad. I don't know. You're going to have to tell me.
I think it's the gaffer. Is it Mikel Arteta?
Brilliant.
There's a little connection here, isn't there?
Oh yeah, you think he's not that old. You think because he's a manager now. I told you I was rubbish at quizzes.
Unlucky Adrian, Mikel Arteta was the name we were after. Now it's time for the City lineup.
So the Man City players, the nationalities are helping me out here again. So I'll start from the front to the back.
Edin Dzeko would have been the player at that point in time.
Up top, I'll go the one and only Edin Dzeko.
And the left winger for City Navas.
The French flag's helping me here. I'll go Samir Nasri.
I think it's Samir Nasri. I think it's Samir Nasri on the left. Okay, so the right back.
French right back.
Is that Bakary Sagna?
I'll probably say Sagna.
Sagna playing for us. Might be Sagna.
No. Not Gil Clichy, is it?
Surely Clichy wouldn't have played right back.
But he wasn't a right back.
Clichy playing right back out of position.
I'll go with Clichy. See, that was because he's a right back here, isn't he?
But yeah, that's a bit of a trick one.
Yes, Gaël Clichy was City's right back on the day. So Adrian and Paul both managed to name 4 of our missing 6 men.
Yep, yeah, got it now.
I can't believe I didn't get Arteta. That is so bad. That is so bad.
So here we go. It's the treble winners against the title challengers this weekend for the first trophy of the season.
Manchester City take the lead in the Community Shield. Aguero can pick his spot here.
Great Parlour, 2-1 Arsenal.
Bernardo Silva, Aguero.